how much would an average cosplay cost you? Not just in money, but also in time.
Oh, okay. So depending, for me, I guess, I make my cosplays. Or I'll at least alter. So I'll go buy something and I'll alter it. So my Bakugo cosplay actually was probably one of my cheapest cosplays I made. It's just foam from the dollar store. I got like two, three sheets that were like $3 each. And then this was an old shirt I had. I flipped it inside out, had just bought some orange fabric and sewed it on. So this cosplay in general is probably about, including the pants, which were about $50, I think. I don't know, let's just round up to 75 bucks. And the most expensive thing were the pants because I bought them from like Walmart. But when I'm creating bigger, full, like making from scratch and not just like altering, ugh, that can vary again. Lately, because I've been trying to do bigger things and use nicer material, I'm finding it's becoming like at least $100 per costume. And that's just like starting. Yeah, I'd put anywhere from like 100 to $200, depending. I really should keep track of the amount of money I spend on material costs, but half the time I just like I buy here and I buy there, and I'll get more stuff when I need it, and I just don't really keep track. Uh, Time wise, I've definitely sped up a lot. I sewed a Gryffindor robe. Yes, not yesterday. Friday, in one day. Usually, will create stuff within multiple days. I don't really have a specific time I could say because sometimes I will work on things slowly but surely. Other times, if I'm like, I'm going to do this character for this con and the con's in 2 weeks, I make sure I get it done in those 2 weeks. I think I made two cosplays and altered one in the span of a month or something like that. Yeah, I think that was the quickest I've like hammered out full top to bottom, like making scratch content cosplay. Yeah, I can't actually say specifically the amount of time or money. It's because the way I do it. I know some people can be like roughly 100 to $200, and then time wise, 2 weeks kind of thing. I think is probably if I really sat down, that's probably what it'd be roughly. But I'm kind of all over the place.
Interesting. And would you say that your ability has grown over time because of how many cosplays you've done? And that makes it easier with the creation process? Or would you say that because of the amount of time that you've put in, you're now able to elaborate and add more details that maybe you couldn't have done in the past. So it ends up being the same amount of time invested, but it's a better cosplay and something you're more comfortable with re-wearing or making content for.
Yes to all. So if I'm making a simpler costume, like just like a jacket or something, example, the robe again, like I can whip that out really fast because I actually use usually one pattern that I've had for years, and I just kind of slightly alter the pattern and then I'll just cut everything out. But then now I'm trying new things and learning I'm always learning as I go. So yeah, that, and I want to add more details. So of course that takes longer, but the general making a jacket and then also making a jacket, that time has shortened. But now, of course, like you said, even though it might be the same jacket, now I'm going to add like rhinestones or something to it just to like make it a little more pizzazzed. And then on top of that, I'm also now creating like multiple cosplays at a time. I used to do one, and then if I wanted to do another, I forced myself to finish the first one before I moved on. It was smart. Stop doing that. I now am working on like 8 different costumes at a time.
At a time, really.
Yeah, so I'll like alternate between things, and depending on when I want to get that costume done by, I will set aside other things and then focus on the one. So I cosplayed Remus Lupin from Harry Potter, like the Marauders when he was younger, and so I put aside my Hisoka cosplay to focus on making that, got that done. But now I want to cosplay Sarah Sanderson for Halloween, so I also have to push Hisoka back again and try and get her done, and then I can now like focus back on Hisoka and Jack Sparrow, and now I'm tossing Gara into the mix, and it's just like, I need to stop.
Well, I have to say, honestly, the fact that you have so much variety to your cosplay, I, as a fan, can vibe with the fact that you're doing 1,000 cosplays at once. If it was me, my mind would just blow up. There's no way I could possibly do more than like two of anything at a time. Sometimes it takes me forever just to get one thing done, but eight? Wow. And they all come out looking so great. Like, I feel like you put the same amount of attention and care into each cosplay that you do.
Thank you. I think one of the things that why it's working right now for doing different things is because I will like hammer down on the one costume, but then I kind of get tired. I'm like, I don't really want to work on this one, but I'm willing to work on this one. So it still gets more costumes pieces done, even though it's not, I don't finish a full one, unfortunately, but I'm still working and I'm still doing stuff. So yeah, it kind of gives me something else to do, just different, something different, I guess.